right, guys, so I gotta know, are you guys team Christmas or team Thanksgiving? Hi guys, and welcome to my DIY channel. My name is Annalie, and today's video I have the last of this year's fall DIYs for you. I actually have these for Thanksgiving. My husband is team Thanksgiving. I love both holidays, but I also am one who feels like we can do maybe a little bit of Christmas decor even though we're celebrating Thanksgiving. Okay, I know, don't hate me. I really believe that I can still celebrate Thanksgiving and love Thanksgiving, because I do, with a little bit of Christmas decor in the background. Because my husband loves Thanksgiving so much, I wanted to make sure that I had some Thanksgiving decor. So this is the last of the last, and yes, I am doing Christmas videos, I promise, but they will come out on my next video. So for today's video, enough chit chat, let's get started.
So we have this cute little store locally here that I love to go and shop at, and I was really inspired by a lot of things that they had in here. Here's just some of the cutest things. You can see those little stack of pumpkins right there. This inspired me to make some really cute fabric pumpkins, and right here on this table, that pumpkin that's got the fabric recipe on there for pumpkin pie truly inspired me. And so that is what these next DIYs are going to be from this cute little store. So I basically just duped them. I think that it's fun to do these little local dupes versus just like an Amazon or a Kirkland or Pottery Barn dupe. So these are the rolls of fabric that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I cannot believe how perfect of a match I found. These stripes, not these ones in particular, but the wider ones, they match almost perfectly. And then there were a few other styles, and so I was able to do a couple different styles from there. So I just cut them down to size. I cut most of them in half. I wanted them to be all different sizes, and then just using some yarn and a dowel needle, I did a simple stitch by hand all the way through so that I could pull this together. Here you're gonna see that I can pull it. Actually, you're gonna see me glue it together first. And because these are just gonna be little pumpkins, I didn't worry about sewing it up the side. I just saved some time and did some glue right there. But as you pull on both ends of the string, it tightens them for you. And so I did this on both top and bottom, turn this right side out, and it gave me this perfect little pouch. Then using some polyfill, I went ahead and stuffed the pumpkin to the fullness of what I thought would work and just look really cute. You can have them as full as you want. I didn't want them to be super full, but they are like almost full. I don't know if that even makes sense. But right here, I have the string still so that I can tie it and make it nice and tight. So I pull it, tie it off in a knot so that it stays. And then using the same yarn, after fluffing it, of course, so that it gets a cute pumpkin shape. Using the same yarn, I just started right here from the top and then wrapped it around, cinching it enough to kind of give it a little bit of gather. And I did this 3 different times going around the pumpkin to make it look like it had a cute little pumpkin shape to it. For the stem, I saw this on the pumpkins in the store. It was so cute. They just rolled up some burlap ribbon. And so that's exactly what I did here. I just folded it in half so that it wasn't quite so tall, and then rolled it up into this cute little stem, and then hot glued it together so that it stayed, and then hot glued it onto the pumpkin. And I thought this gave this such a cute look. Before showing you the final product, I want you to see the rest of the one. So this is kind of the same idea, but instead of doing it so short and giving it a different type of stem, I just sewed down about 2 inches lower so that this gave me this cute gather right here for the stem. And I thought that was just kind of fun to change it up a little bit. So here is a much wider, almost like a ticking stripe fabric for this one. And then to get the recipe, what I did was I went and bought some, I believe they're called towel cloths. That's not gonna make sense. Tea cloths. I think I meant tea cloths. And okay, there it is. I should have showed you. Tea towels. They were like $5 at Walmart for a 2-pack. And I wanted the ripped edge, just like the inspiration. So I ended up using my scissors to just give myself a little cut, and then I tore this down. Whenever you tear your fabric, it tears with the grain, so you can get really, really straight cuts or tears, I guess. And then this is iron-on vinyl, and I just designed this in my Cricut, in the Cricut design space. And then that's how I was able to get it to look almost like the inspiration. And then I just put some heat on it first because I wanted the vinyl to stick to it really well. Put that down to cover it, and then just using my heat press, I went ahead and turned this on for, I actually did it for a couple minutes, but I knew that you guys probably wouldn't want to watch that, and so that was just the very tail end of it. Peeled it off, and now we have our cute little recipe ready to go onto our pumpkin. So I've already sewn through that. You guys have seen that before. So here we're going to glue this together. And again, this is that fabric that I found from the Dollar Tree. I was so excited when I found the almost exact same fabric. I feel like it was so similar. This is going to be a really tall pumpkin. I wanted mine to be really tall because I wanted my words to be really well seen. So I put it inside out, basically stuffed it with some polyfill, but I didn't stuff it all the way full. I needed to give it a little bit of shape so that I knew where to put my tea towel cloth on there. And then just using my dowel needle and the same yarn that I've been using the whole time, I did the simple stitch of just sewing this on by hand, and I went all the way around this, of course. And then I think my battery died, and I was just sewing away because I also sewed this around the top again, cinched this tight, and then I went out into my yard and I found a tree branch, basically, cut it down to size with my saw, and then I put this on top as I kind of gathered the top. Again, you don't see me do any of this part, which I thought that I had it, but I cannot find it. So that you basically just get to jump to the end product. But I did sew it all together, make it look super cute, and I actually am really, really happy with how this turned out, even though mine is just a little bit taller than the inspiration pick, which you'll see here in just a minute. So here is mine. This is my version of all of these pumpkins. I love that there's so many variations of the stripes, and I love that you can see the recipe really well, and there is theirs. The only thing I think I would do different next time is use some darker colored yarn so that you can see the stitching just a little bit better, because I like that. For this next one, this is just a sign that you get from the Dollar Tree, but I like the size of it. So using some black chalk paint in Waverly in the color ink, we went ahead and we gave this 2 good coats, allowing them to dry really well in between. This I cut down to size just because I was able to do that with my table saw. You do not have to do this. If this is something that you want to make, you can do this with dowels from Home Depot or just the furring strips. But I went ahead and I sanded it all down once I got it down, and we're going to be making a frame for this sign that we're going to be making. So right here, I am showing you, this is a different size frame because again, I lost my footage for the big one, but I wanted to show you what I did. So using my router, on the back of this, I clamped this down to my table and then set this at the depth that I want this to go. And then I am routering out a back part for my frame so that I can set my picture, basically, that we're going to be using, that board that you saw me paint black, so that we can set that down in flush. So this, of course, is a different frame, but I wanted you to see what I did. So this is the exact same thing that I did on the regular frame. So you can see right here, there is that little flat edge for the actual board to sit down into. So this is the back of the frame. So then using my Cricut, I went ahead and I just designed this. This was just some fonts that were in Cricut. And I just did hello in cursive and then pumpkin and sized it out to my sign, which I believe was about 18 inches tall by 6 inches wide. And now I'm using some Mod Podge to sponge this on first, and I let that dry because that really seals the stencil down very well. I learned that technique from Whiskey and Wit, and I've used it ever since I saw her do that. And then sponged on some chalk paint from Waverly, the white chalk paint, and then peeled this off, and it does not bleed. It works so perfectly, you guys. I love it. And I love how fast chalk paint dries because it wasn't smudging. So the frame, here's the big frame that I made. I stained it using Minwax stain in the color Provincial. And then this, I just pushed down in, you can see that it sits flush. And then using my stapler, I stapled that in place so that that doesn't move. This is just a staple gun you can get from Home Depot or Walmart. And here we have this cute sign. I love the height of this sign. I love this. You guys, I can't talk. I love how this turned out. Okay, this I saw on, I believe this was a reel on Instagram. So I need to find it again so I can give it credit because I want to give credit to it. But this is just basically the simplest DIY you'll ever see, I feel like. So just using some jute twine, I wrapped this around my fingers to get this size. I did it like, I want to say 40 times. And then I just used a piece of string to tie those together. Those like each individual grouping of 40, if that makes any sense. And then I believe I made 5 of these. So lots of jute twine, definitely uses lots of jute twine, but I wanted them to all be about the same size. So I just used my fingers, but you can use anything if you want them to be a little bit bigger, just use the same size for all of them. Once they were all tied off, I just used the jute twine to feed these on. And then we're gonna tie these together and then we're gonna spread these out, and this creates the cutest little jute twine pumpkin. I know these are everywhere. I know these have been done all over YouTube and all over Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, but I just didn't have one for myself and I felt like I needed one. So I thought that I would show you that I added this. I love these because these are all DIYs that carry through Thanksgiving. You can use them throughout fall, but clear into Thanksgiving. You'll see here in just a minute that I'm going to make a smaller version. So wrapping the jute twine a bunch of times, and then I tie it together, fold it in half and cut it so it gives me some frayed edges, and this is going to create the stem. But like I said in my intro, we really, really, really love Thanksgiving. I feel like everybody does. Nobody I think ever really disses on Thanksgiving, but I do know that Thanksgiving can have the tendency to be a little bit overshadowed, and that's not my intention here. My husband absolutely loves Thanksgiving and asks me every year if I will make Thanksgiving decorations. So I just thought that it would be really fun to do some Thanksgiving decorations. This is probably going to be the easiest DIY ever, actually. These little felt ball pumpkins were at the Dollar Tree in these 3 colors, and I thought they would be so cute to just make a simple garland. So using the same yarn that we were using earlier and the down needle, I just fed these through these pumpkins in a pattern and then hung them up. Simplest garland that there ever was. Also, I know that the entire internet right now has moved on to Christmas DIYs. So please know that I have been working very hard and I have so many Christmas DIYs already ready to go, up and ready for you guys. I meant to have this video out 2 weeks ago and had a few things come up. But since I'd already made the projects, I really didn't want them to go to waste because I really wanted to show everybody some Thanksgiving decoration options because pumpkins can carry through all throughout until Thanksgiving. And so this video is up just a little bit late, but is the last one. This is the last fall themed Thanksgiving pumpkin themed video of the year. So last one, and we will be moving on to Christmas. My very next video will be Christmas, and I'm very excited. This is this cute little dollar spot at my Walmart. It's like the bullseye playground at Target. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit. These range anywhere from like $3 to $5, and I am loving this section, you guys. I feel like Walmart has really stepped it up and is trying to really have some quality products just like Target. And so right here, I was really inspired to make some of these cute little rolling pins that you can do. I know that you can get the plain rolling pins at Hobby Lobby or online. I actually have some, but I didn't make any in time for this video, but maybe next year. But I thought those were so cute. These cute little beaded garlands though, with that rectangle piece, I loved. I had to do that. So I actually just took a square dowel and I drilled a hole through it with just both ways. Like I started on one side and then went through the other, stained it, and then cut out the word grateful 4 times on my Cricut in the same font, and then just put these on all 4 sides. So these measure about 3 inches, and then like I said, I drilled all the way through. Again, here we are with that same yarn. I went ahead and used that to make a tassel, wrapping this around something so that it's all the same length several times, and then cutting it so that they all match, tying something around it. Those beads I got as a beaded garland from Walmart. That is a super fun hack fun tip, if you want a really cheap, fast way to have beads all throughout the year, grab some of these at Christmas time. They're out right now actually at Walmart, and you can see that there are so many of them. They come already ready to go. This is a very neutral color. You don't even have to use the green. You can just use the white and the neutral color, and you can use them year round. They don't have to be used for Christmas, but I love the green. I thought the green would add a really pretty touch for the fall look, fall vibes. And so they were already basically strung on and ready to go. I just moved them over onto the yarn and then made a cute garland with my own beads and wood. So I actually do this with two pieces. You'll see that I did a stained version, and then I did one that I cut the same length, but I painted it green using Waverly's moss colored chalk paint. Words, guys. Words are hard. Sometimes I do these videos so late that I end up not only stuttering, but I also develop a lisp, like a temporary lisp, as I try to do these voiceovers. This one says harvest. I thought that was really cute. And so here is the finished product. So basically here is theirs versus mine. I love that you can do these in any color. These also I think would be really fun to do year round because you wouldn't have to have them all say grateful. You could use different words. Like you could say like hello, welcome, and really just do anything with these cute beaded garlands. So I have a really cute wall hutch. I'll leave that video in the iCard for you guys if you want to see how I made that. But I switched over to some fall decor and I had some plates up there. But some of the plates I thought looked just a little plain. So I wanted to just add a decal. Again, another very, very simple DIY. This was just on Cricut Design Space. I cut this out, weeded this out, and then just transferred this over to the middle of the plate. I'll show you right here though. I didn't pay attention. I was trying to cut it down to size so that I could see where it would go and fit in the middle of the plate, and I ended up cutting some of the decal off. But don't worry, I will show you how I fix that because it's really easy. If you guys ever do that, it's really, really easy to fix that final part. So this is a smaller plate that I just picked up from the Dollar Tree, transferred this over, and then I just used my Cricut tool to add those leaves back on that I cut off, and I just lined them on there and pushed them on with my finger. I'm so glad that I did because that really added a lot to the decal. It looks so much better. It was way better that I put them back instead of cutting them off. You guys probably don't ever have to worry about that. I doubt you guys ever cut your decals up like that. I'm sure you guys pay attention and cut where you're supposed to and actually look on the other side before you cut your vinyl. It's probably just me. And that's it for these simple DIYs. That's the last of fall for 2022, guys. Bring on Christmas.
Thank you guys so much for those of you who are still here at the end. For those of you who don't know, this is my end segment, just something that I share at the end that I found uplifting that I want to give to you guys. And for those of you who don't want to be a part of it, then you're good to just click away because you've already seen the DIYs. So for today's end segment, I wanted to talk about a book that I read. I know you're like, wait, book? I have a video for it linked down below. Just keep in mind that the videos, like the movies, videos, they're never as good as the books. Some of you may be aware of this already, but it is a book about change, which can be really, really hard. And it's kind of a good book that helps, at least it helped me understand about change, but it's called Who Moved My Cheese? I will have the book linked down below for you as well as the video. The video does a really good job of the book. So for those of you who don't want to read the book, even though the book is really thin, I promise, the book is like, but for those of you who don't want to read the book, there's a video linked down below. But I'll also give you the cliff notes of it right here in my video. It's about 4 little characters. They're all fictional, but it's about 2 little people that are the size of mice, and their names are Hem and Haw. And then it's about 2 little mice, and the mice are Sniff and Scurry. They're all in a maze, and they have to run around through the maze, and they don't know where everything in the maze is because it's so big and it's a maze. But they run around and they look for food. Sniff and Scurry are kind of always on the move, ready to go. They put their running shoes on, they enter the maze every day, ready to go, ready to find something. And Hem and Haw, they are a little bit more logical. They think a little bit more, they have emotional feelings because they're people, things like that. So they run around the maze, and eventually all 4 of these characters end up finding a cheese station where they can eat cheese, and it's the types of cheese that suits each one of them. So they love that they now found their cheese because this is security. This means they get to eat. This means they get to have things. The cheese honestly is a metaphor. It implies a lot of things, and you can actually insert whatever it is that you can relate to or add to it for the cheese. Basically, you can substitute that for you in your life. But what happens is eventually him and Ha get pretty comfortable and feel like the cheese is always going to be there, because every day they run to cheese station C and they find that the cheese is there. So they start to get very comfortable and feel like the cheese is always going to be there. Sniff and Scurry, the mice, they always keep their running shoes on, and they always go out and explore other options because their instincts tell them that this cheese has to be coming from somewhere, and one day it might just stop showing up. And sure enough, that's what happens. They go back to cheese station C and the cheese is gone. So hence the name of the book, Who Moved My Cheese? Where did it go? So Sniff and Scurry, they're already ready to go. They run out into the maze and everything's fine. Hem and Haw are a little bit more kind of hem and haw, right? They stay back, they wait, they go there every day, and they just keep waiting for the cheese. They keep saying, where is the cheese? Who moved the cheese? Where is it going? Where did it go? When is it coming back? And they wait and they wait and they wait until they're almost starving, clear to death, and finally one of them, I believe it's Ha, is like, I'm just gonna go explore and figure this out, but Hem stays behind. Ha goes out, and as he's wandering through the maze, he goes through this journey of learning about change, and there's some writing on the wall, metaphor. And there's writing on the wall that talks about things like great quotes, like make sure you check your cheese often so that you know when it's getting old. And what would you do if you weren't afraid? And like, I'm not gonna do it justice so you guys can watch it, but that's my favorite one, is what would you do if you weren't afraid? I would do so much, you guys. I don't know about you, but that is my question for you as you watch this video down below that I'll have linked and learn about change. Eventually, it is a happy ending. Hem moves from Station C and finds out that the cheese is never going to come back, and he finally is okay with change because he's really upset about change for a little while. He didn't like the change, he didn't want the change, he didn't want the cheese to go away. He just dug in his heels, and I thought it was just a great metaphor to how many people really do struggle with change. Change is hard. It is very, very hard, but it's also a big constant part of life. I found it really helpful. I hope you guys find it helpful. Please let me know down below if you guys have ever heard that before, if you've ever read that book, if you know about it. Let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching. If you guys would like to, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below. Like this video because it really does help out our channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. The video because you've already seen the DIYs. Guys, I'm getting heckled by a fly.